So, old racing games, were they actually better than new racing games? This is a question I often ask myself, and I think it boils down to a few key categories. So in today's video, I think I'm going to answer this question and at least give my opinion on it. So first of all, in old racing games, there's a lot more character. Let me just say that. Take Most Wanted 05 for example. Whole premise of that racing game is you gotta beat these 15 people to get the car back that was wrongfully taken from you. It has story. It has an arc which you need to do and complete, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty basic, right? If we take Carbon for example, you know, it's sort of interlinked with Most Wanted. Like, is it the storyline? It all makes sense once you understand it. And again, Carbon has this thing that, yeah, your story is you fled from Carbon City and you've just come back from Rockport and you need to try and, you know, gain your reputation back and you want to take over the whole city. That's kind of how it is. But the thing is, when you go to like nowadays games, we'll take like Forza for example. Now I understand it's sort of unfair to take Forza in this category because it's not even in the same category as Need for Speed, but there's so many things you can do in Forza, which many people would say, no, well, that makes it a better racing game. You know, the graphics are way better. There's the whole like Hot Wheels expansion pack. But like the thing is, there's so much to do in Forza that you never even get all of it done. It's like there's too much. And even if we take like, yeah, even if we take like a new racing game from Need for Speed, such as Unbound, there's just like no character in it. You play it and you don't feel like you're attached to the players in it. You don't feel like you're part of the game. Now, that suddenly became sort of a recent thing. Like in Heat, I'd say you kind of do feel that attachment. Heat's story is magnificent. It's really well made. Payback, for me, didn't have that attachment to it either. I'd say Heat was like, it was like a diamond in the rough, do you know what I mean? It was a gem. You know, it was a good game with a good story that came out during a time full of racing games which have no passion in them anymore. Now, you could also say that this is maybe a good thing. A lot of people view the old stories in the old games as like corny or cringe. A lot of people view them as like kind of, I guess, crude in a sense. Especially with like if you go to like Most Wanted 05 for example, like, or Carbon, there's always like the token girl which helps you along, you know, the one that's always in like a bikini or something. Especially if you go for games like Street Racing Syndicate where like all the women in there are literally half naked. So, I mean, in that sense, you could definitely say, like, racing games got better because they didn't rely on that sort of a thing to make the game enjoyable anymore. But, like, at the same time, even though, like, we've stepped away from that, which is definitely a good thing, the part of that did sort of have the character for racing games. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, like, having half naked women is the point of racing games, but I'm saying, like, you know, having the token girl that helps you along to getting your car back, like stuff like that, I feel like that is missing from the racing games of today. Now there are certain racing games which have done the whole story aspect really good again, I must say. The First Crew, what a game. It's really sad that recently, March 31st, you know, we've lost that game, but like many games are lacking what the story aspect of racing games. I don't know how to feel about it. I just feel like there's no passion in the modern racing games. Like they're just made to see how much money they can profit off of by making a game. I understand like one of the main premises for game developers to develop a game is to make profit, to increase their company, etc, etc, but they're gonna make a load of money if they made a really genuinely good game that everyone likes. Anyways, like the fact of the matter is they can make a lot of money making a really good racing game with a really good story, but it's a lot harder than just, you know, pumping out the same pretty much racing game every few years. And as much as I like a Forza fan I am, because like that was the reason, you know, I stayed on Xbox my whole life, I'd have to say like Forza is one of those games where it's like such a drag now. Motorsport died in my opinion after like it went to Xbox One. Like Forza Motorsport 4 was like the last good Motorsport Forza game that was made. And if we think about even the Horizon games, you look at Horizon 1, right? There's so much character in Horizon 1. Like, okay, you know, you got festivals, you got wristbands, you know, this Darius guy, he's like the leader of the festivals. And that game isn't even about like half naked women or anything. It's literally about you gotta beat this, you wanna be better than this guy, you wanna win the Horizon finale. Horizon 2 is kind of like that in a sense as well, but rather than like wristbands, you just got like your levels, which is represented by your wristband. But it is still sort of like, you know, you wanna race until you win 15 championships, then you can enter the Horizon finale and you wanna win it. But then after you do it, then it's like, okay, we'll let you take charge. And that part of it is like cool, because then it lets you create the championships how you want to, but like at the same time, that's where we began losing character. Then Horizon 3 comes out and it's like, hey, you own the festival now. Your whole point of this game is you're trying to grow the festival to be as big as it can be. But like Horizon 3, in my opinion, was one of the best made Horizon games just because of like how beautiful it was. Same with Horizon 2, it was a beautiful game. Like they were really well made Xbox One games. I had a load of fun playing them. But I think as soon as we got to 2018, you know, Horizon 4, and I think this is genuinely maybe just an internet thing, but I think this is where the point where companies in general stopped caring about what they produce and just started caring about how much money they make off it. And that, you can see that in a load of games across all sorts of genres. Like if you look at 2018 Call of Duty, that's when Black Ops 4 came out, I think, or around then anyways. And compared to the previous Call of Duties, it was just not it. I guess like Modern Warfare 2019 was good, but you know what I mean. If you look at like FIFA, for example, I personally say like the last like really good FIFA was like FIFA 16. If you look at Minecraft, for example, okay, maybe the recent updates have been really good, but I'd say like the game stopped listening to people who played it as much as it got bigger, and I'd say well, I guess actually Minecraft, I probably would say that happened to it maybe in around like 2015. But either way, my point is around 2018, in a lot of areas, that's when companies stopped caring about the players, the people who played their games, etc, etc, etc. And I just think for that reason specifically, racing games aren't as good anymore. They aren't as enjoyable. They don't have as much passion and as much story. But maybe that's just me. So to answer this question honestly, I think I need to turn to you guys. What do you guys think? If you agree with me, make sure to comment down below and let me know. And if you disagree with me, you know, make sure to comment down below and explain why. Like, what do you think, you know, is good about racing games nowadays? What am I missing? Am I just blinded by nostalgia? I don't know. But anyways, I know this is a kind of a different video than what I usually produce, but this is a topic that I wanted to talk about for a while. So I decided, you know what, I'll make a quick video on it while playing a bit of Roblox. I thank you guys very much for watching today's video, and I hope to see you guys all in my next video. Peace out.